What's up, guys? Welcome back to another episode of The Cup of Cinema, where we review movies. I'm here with my beautiful co-host, Acacia, and how's your day been?
My day's been a whirlwind.
Yes,
How
it
is
has.
yours?
Same. It's been a whirlwind of a day today, but I don't expect anything else from being a human being on planet Earth in 2024. So let's get into the Blair Witch movie from 2016.
Mm-hmm.
So we're recording this later in the evening just because, yeah, we had a crazy day today. Hot chocolates, no coffee. All right, so we're going to get into some really quick movie news, year in budget of the movie, plot, actors, opinions, facts, our reviews, all that fun stuff. Let's jump right into it. Some movie news. Two big trailers just dropped this week. Venom 3, The Last Dance, and Alien Romulus. Really quickly, what do you think of both trailers?
Let me be quick. The Last Dance thing was,
The Venom one?
yeah, it was fine. I don't know. Didn't like it. Didn't not. Sorry. Didn't love it. Didn't hate it. Whatever. Wouldn't go see the movie.
Yeah.
It looked cheesy. I'm not interested.
Okay. Same. I'm not on board with the new Venom. I'm a huge Spider-Man fan from being a kid, and I think they absolutely butchered him. And, you know, we saw what they did to Carnage in Venom 2, and Venom 3, I think, is just going to be a complete shit show. You can't have Venom without Spider-Man. I'm just going to say it. And, yeah, it looks pretty bad, especially the We Are Venom funny scene that they tried putting in there. You're on movie 3. I think they should have that down pat by now. All right, let's move on to Alien Romulus. What did you think of Alien Romulus?
Kind of the same thing. Didn't love it. Didn't hate it. I liked it a little more than the other one, but I don't know. I thought it was. I didn't love it.
Nice.
What did you think of it?
I thought it was a great trailer. I'm a huge Alien fan, but I thought the trailer itself was amazing. Like, if we look at the Venom trailer, we see that it's got, like every other trailer, the guy walks in, he's fighting a few little guys at the beginning, fights, then the main big guy starts coming by, and they're like, how are we gonna beat this guy? And then, you know, it's the planet of the symbiote thing where Venom's planet's coming by. And then, you know, Venom's and Eddie Brock have to figure out how to save the world, and then they probably do, and they make a few little sacrifices, but everything comes out at the end. Classic movie. Alien Romulus, though, very different. I thought the trailer was wicked cool. The just through the trailer, and then finding out it was a chest burster blew my mind. Going silent for half the trailer near the end was absolutely insane. And I have no idea what's going on in Alien Romulus, which makes me even more excited for the film. I felt like Fetty didn't give anything away in the trailer, and we have no idea where these three or four young adults are going in space with the xenomorph. So
But also, it looks like the same thing as always, where they're in space, the xenomorph comes on, they all start dying. One person at least probably gets away.
yeah.
So, as much as you say, like, we don't know what's going to happen, like, it's usually the same thing every single time.
We'll see. Fetty's pretty good. Like, he's the type of guy that might not make nobody get away. Everybody just dies, which would be really cool because I've been wanting to see more movies like that where the alien
Yeah.
just wins and it doesn't get out. Like, the humans don't get away. Like, Ripley doesn't always get away. So it would be pretty cool to see a change. And I think Fetty's the guy to bring that change. Um, yeah, but very excited for Alien Romulus. Not very excited for Venom. Go see both trailers if you haven't, and let us know what you guys think in the comments. So let's get to our main course, the Blair Witch movie. That's what this one is called. It's just called Blair Witch. That's what it's called. So this is the one from 2016. It's a direct sequel to the 1999 The Blair Witch Project. But there was a movie called The Book of Shadows that came out in the year 2000, I believe, and nobody talks about that, so we're just pretending like that doesn't exist. I don't think it was studio driven like this one is, driven by Lionsgate Studio, so yeah, this is a direct sequel. So it came out in 2016. In total, it made $45 million worldwide, and it had a budget of $5 million, so it did pretty well. Do you want to read the plot of the movie?
Sure. A young man and his friends venture into the Black Hills Forest in Maryland to uncover the mystery surrounding his missing sister. Many believe, obviously his missing sister being the girl from the first movie, many believe her disappearance 17 years earlier is connected to the legend of the Blair Witch. At first, the group is hopeful, especially when two locals act as guides through the dark and winding woods. As the night wears on, a visit from a menacing presence soon makes them realize that the legend is all too real and more sinister than they could ever imagined.
All right. So I thought that was pretty. I thought it was cool to bring a younger brother into the mix, like a younger brother going to look for his sister who went missing in the woods years beforehand. I thought that was a cool storyline. All right. So let's get into the actors really quickly. So the main actor was James Allen McCune, who played James in the movie. He's the brother who's searching for his sister. Then he has like this like fling thing with this girl named Lisa, who's played by Callie Hernandez.
Hernandez.
Hernandez. She's a videographer. She's documenting the trip. I don't know if she's more into him or into getting the story. It's like one of that dynamic where she's like a journalist, I guess. Then James's best friend tags along, Peter, played by Brandon Scott, and then his girlfriend tags along, Ashley, played by Corbin Reed. So the four pretty much get in the car. They start going to this house, this address where they got the found footage sent to them by. And then they find a couple whose names are Lane and Talia. Lane played by Wes Robinson and Talia played by Valerie Curry. And then they're like, all right, so where'd you find this tape? And they're like, well, you got to bring us camping with you, and we'll show you. And they're like, okay, I guess these two are coming to camping with me. So yeah, they all go camping together, and weird shit starts, and then we know what happens. But before we jump into what the middle of the movie, The Blair Witch, in the beginning, before everything starts going weird, Lane was saying as a joke that the Blair Witch told him to bring the group into the forest, which I thought was kind of weird.
Yeah, like joking around about it.
Yeah, and then we'll skip to Lane's. We'll skip to the end for Lane's story's sake. At the end, he's the only one still alive with Lisa and James running around the house somewhere, and he's got a whole beard. He's been in the forest for a long time. Time's not working the same for anybody, and once the group split up, and he's still saying like the Blair Witch is telling him to do these things. So we don't know what was really going on with him, but I think he was maybe possessed, or he was actually being told by the Blair Witch to do all this type of stuff. So I thought that was pretty interesting fact. But yeah, let's go through the characters and their deaths and all that. So we'll start off with Ashley. So she's the one who gets a big cut on her foot.
Yeah.
What do you think of the progression between the cut where she gets then her death and all that?
The cut and stuff was good. You know, she gets a cut, it gets infected. It kind of makes sense they're in the forest and there's weird stuff happening. So I'm imagining it's not just like it's just infected. It's like probably because things are happening like.
And it was in the river, which is kind of
something.
Freaky too. Like it's under the water, right? You don't know.
Yeah, and it was a big cut.
Yeah, it was gash.
And then she
would have turned back right as soon as I saw that gash.
Yeah, you would have. Well, yeah, I would have too. But yeah, she. Oh my gosh, what's the word? She gets an infection.
So she gets like a fever, gets sick, and all that.
Yeah, and that kind of makes sense and everything. But then, like at a certain point, she's like trying to run because everybody's like being killed and stuff. And she goes to try to find the drone so that I guess she can like perceive like bird's eye view and like try to escape. Which wouldn't be what I would try to do. It's the middle of the night. You can't see anything. But anyway, she's got a fever. I don't know. And she like scales the tree with like her injured foot and everything, which is just like, why would you do that?
Yeah, it doesn't make any sense.
I wouldn't do that in broad daylight, let alone with an injured foot at nighttime. And then she falls and she dies. So
yeah, I didn't get that part. Like she had her moments. Like I thought the getting infected was smart, and you know she was sick for half the movie, and she actually looked like pretty sick. She was mumbling in her sleep. Like it was pretty good. Then when like you know all hell starts breaking loose and she's running through the forest, like just like her leg is like oozing and she's got all this pus coming out, and that looked pretty disgusting. It was pretty good.
That thing.
But then she like pulls out this like worm thing, and it's like it was that was freaky. I think that was pretty freaky. That was I was like, oh, when I saw that. But I wish they like showed us or told us more about it. Like it
Yeah, it was
just
like there's
they
something in
pulled it
there,
out and
but
that's it. Like we don't know
yeah,
what it was. And I understand like, a little bit of mystery is okay, but like her whole character was mysterious because
we didn't learn anything about her.
no,
She's
like
just kind of
no.
there to
She
be
just fell
there.
off a tree, died, and that's it. That's the story. Like
Yeah,
what was in her leg? What was she infected by? What was going on? Like we got
yeah.
no answers. Um, and yeah, I think her climbing the tree to get the drone was kind of stupid. Like this is the difference between the first one, the acting in the first one, and the acting in this one. This one was so scripted, and you could just tell, you could feel it. Like you didn't these the characters and the decisions they made in this movie were like scripted decisions. As for when we watched the first one, it was like I felt like I was watching three people lost in a forest. Like they were
Hmm.
just told with barely any dialogue. Like you're scared, you're fighting right now, go. And they really like did their thing.
Hmm.
Those three actors from the past, but these ones were just like on line for line, like but yeah, the falling out the tree, I didn't think that was a good way for her to die. I thought it was kind of stupid. People couldn't figure out how she fell out of the tree. I saw an arm grab her
Hmm.
at the top, so I think that's what it was. Um, but where the hell did she even get the drone remote? The
That's what I
drone
was
wasn't
wondering
hers.
too.
It was
Yeah,
Lisa's.
yeah.
Lisa
The
had the
girl had
drone
it.
and the drone remote the whole time. I
I guess
didn't
she
see her
just
go into
found
her
it
bag. She just got out of the tent, ran, and then
and
pulls the
then
drone
had
remote
it.
out of her pocket. I'm like, whoa, is she stealing or what's going on here? So yeah, that was her death. We'll move on to Peter, her boyfriend.
Yeah,
Another kind of a stupid death.
he
Like
goes
a
to
lot of
collect
stupid deaths.
sticks, and he goes to collect the sticks like out of earshot of the camp, when you could just collect sticks around the campsite. Like I
Yeah,
don't
they're in
understand
the
why he would
middle
do
of
that.
nowhere. Like
And he leaves like it was sort of daylight out. I think
yeah,
still it was
it's
like
like pure
dusk or
daylight.
whatever.
No, it was like almost afternoon. It looked like
Okay,
outside.
and then yeah, he leaves, and then all of a sudden it's dark, and drops his little tiny bundle of sticks that he collected,
6 hours
and
of
he's like yelling
twigs.
for help at a certain point. No one hears him because he's out of earshot because he's a stupid idiot, and then a tree falls on him,
Yeah,
and something catches him, and he dies.
yeah. So I thought his death was really stupid as well. Like
Yeah,
again, he left camp at in broad daylight and to get a couple sticks for a fire, and they go back to his like camera, and it's nighttime, and he's like, oh my gosh, like what, dude? You
yeah,
why did you walk so far for sticks?
yeah,
You're in a forest, and you're not even at a campsite in a provincial park. They were in the middle of
yeah. Like
nowhere.
there's a tree right
There
there,
was
a tree
no
right
reason
there.
why you couldn't just pluck sticks wherever you wanted. Like stupid. It was kind of as stupid as like when Lane went to go take a piss, and
Yeah, he
he's
went as far
gone.
as he could.
It's like, dude, you're a dude. Just go piss
Just go,
against the tree.
yeah.
Like, come on, what are you doing?
But then
So,
his girlfriend, like earlier on in the movie, was saying he likes to walk for privacy,
oh
and
yeah,
that was the
yeah.
time that they kind of messed with them and put the things up. But
Yeah. Okay, maybe okay, I'll give it to Lane and I'll give it to that part fine because Talia actually did say something. You're right. She did say that. And that's
but
smart. If they're going to make a character walk far like that
I guess
and
yeah,
they give a
say
little bit
something
of
about it.
dialogue, that's actually I give it to them. But the Peter walking that far was stupid.
Weird.
And then I hate when somebody's in the forest like Lane,
Yeah. If
Lane,
they
and
didn't hear
then
you
they
the first two
turns
times.
around, and then Lane's like, "Whoa!" and he pops out of the
Yeah.
forest. It's like, what? You didn't hear your name being
You
like,
could hear them
what are
from
you?
so far.
Yeah, you're in the forest. Like, what are you running through and you don't hear the Lane coming in a forest behind you? Like, I
Yeah.
understand you're trying to go for that jump scare, but it doesn't make sense because again, you're in the forest. There's leaves. You can't really surprise somebody in the forest.
Hmm.
It's gonna be pretty
Yeah.
hard. So yeah, I don't know. Like it's the little things that I think writers and directors need to think about because it's not about picking the movie apart, but it's pretty just like big problems, like things
Hmm.
that could have been fixed.
He did like Talia's death though.
Yeah, let's move on to Talia though. So Talia had the best death in my opinion in the movie. She like had her hair in
It
one
was
of
like a
those
little voodoo
voodoo
doll
doll things
things.
that were hung up everywhere, and this time it was the witch because the first time Lane tried tricking them to think that the Blair
Hmm.
Witch was real and all that.
So Ashley was like taking it. She's like, "Stop making these" or whatever, and then like snapped it, and then the girl immediately like snapped her
Yeah,
back and like fell and was like,
I thought that was crazy. I thought that was a crazy scene. I know you thought it was
I just
more
burst
jokey,
out. I
but
burst out laughing. I just thought it was funny.
yeah, I thought it was pretty intense. I thought it was an
Okay.
intense scene. Like I thought it was
Yeah.
done right. It was done smart.
I
Like
did like it. I just couldn't
her
help but
hair was
laugh.
there, and Ashley's all pissed off, breaks it, and then she just folds. And I was like, whoa! Like that caught me so off guard. And I remember when I first watched this, I watched this in 2016 in the theaters. That was my first watch, and I remember when I saw that, I was like, whoa, let's go! Like the movie's starting. Like that was a serious way to get the crowd going. I thought. But yeah, she had a good death, and she was a really good actor as well. Talia,
Hmm.
the Valerie Curry, she was a great actor. Um, so yeah, so Ashley's terrible death, Peter's terrible death, Talia's pretty cool death, and then we have like Lane. So we talked about Lane. Lane, kind of possessed by the Blair Witch. I think. I
Yeah.
think he was possessed by
And then
her.
doesn't what's her face kill him at the
Yeah.
end?
So Lisa stabs
Yeah.
Blaine with a pocket knife that she's got. So that's how he goes. Okay,
Which is
death.
fine.
Yeah, not
Yeah.
bad, not bad. And then yeah, we got Lisa and James. James, I think they both see the creature at the end. That's what
Yeah.
happens, right?
Yeah.
Yeah,
It like
which was pretty
lures
cool.
them in, him with his sister's voice, and then her
Yeah,
with his voice, which is so stupid.
that was
Like
stupid though.
she just
Yeah,
saw him die
I
from
know.
that. Like put two and two. I know you're in a life or death situation, but
Put
come
two and two
on.
together. I know. Like James, I understand why he turned around. Like he
Yeah.
was the one saying like, "Don't look at it, don't look at it," and he's like, "My sister," and looks at it
Yeah.
like. I thought it was kind of stupid, but okay. Like he came there for his sister, and maybe he will die to find the truth. So I'll
Yeah.
give him that.
And you
But
don't know that the Blair Witch can make that sound
yeah,
at that point.
yeah,
But once that
Lisa,
happens,
like,
Lisa has
yeah,
no excuse.
what the hell did you turn around for, you idiot? Like, so she shouldn't have turned around. I thought, yeah, that was kind of dumb. I did like her at the end though, crawling through a tunnel. I was claustrophobic. I felt claustrophobic. I was like, get the hell out of there so I could feel better.
I
And
normally really don't like those things, but I don't know.
yeah,
That one wasn't convincing enough for me.
yeah,
I think
like
it was just checked out, actually. I don't think it wasn't
you
convincing.
just
I was
checked
just
out
like
by
checked
then,
out.
yeah. I
Yeah.
think that was her best scene for acting. That was like bringing the old Blair Witch back. That scene, like it was very up close, very personal. She did a really good job, like seeming like she was just defeated. But yeah, I thought then she pushed her way through and all that. So I like that. It sucks that she had to go through so much just to die at the end. And it wasn't even for her; it was all for James. So, but it was her
Yeah.
story, though. Maybe that's why, right? She went for the
Uh-huh.
wrong reasons. But let's talk about the witch for a little bit. So, what did you think of the Blair Witch story that Lane was talking about?
Honestly, I didn't really think too much about it. Kind of, he talked about it, and I just kind of forgot about it after. You seemed like you paid. I feel like you paid more attention to those little details than I did. But like when I think about what he was saying, like it does make sense for what they kind of showed of the Blair Witch, like the appearance and everything. Even though they just showed it kind of briefly,
Yeah,
it
I'm
all like made sense.
trying to find.
Like they put
There's
the pieces together instead of just showing us random shit and not giving us backstory and whatever.
Yeah, that's. I was trying to find the Blair Witch's name. They said her name in the movie. I think it was like Ellie or something like that. Um, Ellie.
Oh, I don't remember.
Oh, there it is.
L.A.
So,
Kedward?
yeah, Ellie Kedward. She was the woman that the Blair Witch is based upon. So, an Irish woman who was banished from the town of Blair after several local people accused her of witchcraft. And that was from 1729. So, yeah, her real name is Elias Abigail Kedward. It's crazy that somebody is like their history is here as like I don't know, it's just nuts that this
Yeah.
person lived in 1729 and we're talking about her and that the people killed her because they thought she was a witch. It's insane.
It's crazy people
Yeah,
used to think that shit.
but so there's many stories of how she was killed. Like they said, like some people say she was just banished. Other people say that she was hung by the tree. But Lane says that she was hung, and then not just hung, but she had weights on her arms and legs, which is pretty freaky because at the end of the film, you see this creature with
Hmm.
long arms and long legs,
Yeah.
like running through the forest, and I was like, and you only get a glimpse of it, and I thought that was pretty freaky. I
That's
was like,
always like the
whoa, that's
creepiest
nuts.
sort of thing is when something has like abnormally sized or elongated limbs.
Yeah, it's
Something ominous
freaky,
about it.
and they like have the human like features still too,
Hmm.
so it's like, oh. So I think we did see like yeah, we definitely saw a piece of the Blair Witch. We saw a lot of things though, like when they're in the house, like he's calling for his sister, and then you see that old like lady turn really quickly into the room, and then he runs into the room and there's nothing there.
Right.
And I
Yeah.
was like, is this the witch or is this, what is this supposed to be? An old
Yeah.
lady? Like now she could shapeshift? Because I like the long weird creature running through the forest in the rain. That was wicked. But
Yeah.
then the
Maybe.
weird people in the house were like, what is she, a shapeshifter or
Well,
like
maybe that lady
hallucination?
was her before she died. Like before they
Maybe,
did
yeah.
that stuff to her. I don't know.
I thought that was a little bit pushing it though, but
Yeah, they should have just kept it as like the monster or whatever, the witch.
yeah, they should just kept that as a witch. But yeah, the creature was pretty scary though. I thought the creature was pretty scary. The house from the Blair Witch was a real house from Civil War times. It wasn't like constructed or anything. It's a real
Mm.
house that they found in the forest. But they actually tore it down now, so you can't find it if you go into the forest because it was already rotting away and too much people were going to
I
visit
bet.
it,
Yeah.
so they had to take it down for safety reasons. Um, but yeah, let's. I don't know if I mentioned this already too, but if you are a big fan of the Blair Witch Project movies, we have a new one coming up. It's going to be a remake, so not a reboot, not a sequel, not a prequel. It's going to be an entirely new remake from Lionsgate. They've teamed up with Blumhouse, and as of this year, they announced that they're going to be having a new take on the 1999 Blair Witch movie. So that's kind of exciting.
Hopefully they
Um,
don't botch it.
yeah, hopefully not. And another cool fact about this movie was supposed to be a prequel to the Blair Witch movie.
Wait,
The
the one that we just no.
the first one, the one we just watched was supposed to be a prequel, but they made it a sequel.
Oh, okay.
So it was actually supposed to take place. The writer and director who did the first one
Hmm.
wanted to go into the witch's
I
story
was gonna
and
say
go
that
back in
would actually be
time
cooler.
to like the 1500s, 1600s and
Yeah.
show, I guess, Ellie Codwood
Yeah.
or share her story maybe. But Lionsgate said no, they wanted to go with the sequel, so they went with the sequel.
Hmm.
But what was kind of shifty was like in 2015, The Witch with Anna Taylor Joy came out, and that was
Hmm.
basically the Blair Witch. Like, well, that was like the Blair Witch from the past. Like she was still witch version though,
Right.
you know.
I see what you mean.
Like if they
Yeah.
made a prequel that fast, it would have been similar, I think, and that's
Yeah.
probably why
Oh,
Lionsgate
that's
didn't go
probably
that way.
yeah.
And that was a great movie. We'll probably review that
Hmm.
movie one day. Um, but yeah, I think that's pretty much it for like the like most movies. Really, this one's around. Oh yeah, so like again, I was saying I watched this in theaters. I think all movies should be watched in theaters, but horror in general, for me in particular, does way more in theaters than any other movie. And this movie, seeing it in theaters, gave me a really different feel from when I saw it when we watched it in the other room. Like when the back broke or the screaming and the yelling and the running, I thought the theater experience really gave that a little bit of more of an oomph for me. Um, and yeah, during the some another fact was during when they were shutting the camera on and off, and it glitched. There were actually like logos and like subliminal messages in
Hmm.
the glitches there, so that was pretty cool. But yeah, do you have any more you want to say on this movie?
I don't think so.
Just yeah, just like it was like I
Yeah.
yeah
Should we do our ratings?
yeah. What would you give it?
I think a 4.5.
Ooh, 4.5. Okay. I would give it a 6. I'd stand with a 6. I didn't think it was the best found footage. Not even close. I think Cloverfield's like way better, and Blair Witch Project 1 is way better and all that. But it definitely had its moments. It wasn't a terrible movie. I would probably watch it in a few years again, and yeah, I'd settle with a 6. Let's see other reviewers. So IMDb gave it a 5 out of 10. Rotten Tomatoes gave it a 38%. And viewer Google users gave it a 69%. So it's sitting on the okay. Oops, sorry. It's sitting on the burp.
Oops, sorry.
Oops, sorry. It's sitting on the okay spectrum. But yeah, that's our review on the Blair Witch Project. It's a decent movie, uh, watchable. That's pretty much
Yeah.
it. Nothing crazy.
Yeah.
And yeah, I guess we'll close it out here.
Do you
Or what?
want to talk about movies we're looking forward to?
Oh yeah. Is your what movie you looking forward to?
Yeah, because I forgot to mention it last week. The new Lord of the Rings movie. They're apparently calling, well, right now they're calling it The Search for Gollum, which is a terrible name, but I think
Yeah.
it's a temporary until they figure out the real one.
So it's a prequel then?
Yeah, it's after The Hobbit, but prequel to Lord of the Rings, because it's supposed to
Nice.
be Gandalf and Aragorn search for Gollum to because they're trying, Gandalf's trying to figure out if the ring that Bilbo has is the One Ring. He has a hunch, but he's not sure, so he wants to find out if it is, and Smeagol's out looking for it, so he's like, well, I'll find Smeagol, so he goes to find him and try to question him and confirm that it's the ring or not.
Nice. Well, I'm excited for that. I love Lord of the Rings.
Yeah,
We'll do a Lord of the Rings series one day.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
But I wish they would stop with the prequels though, because I remember The Hobbit wasn't that good.
It was terrible, but
Yeah.
it is tricky because The Hobbit was made for children, like it's a children's book, and
Yeah.
so Lord of the Rings is for young adults, so it's going to be a bit more dark and edgy and
Yeah.
stuff. But The Hobbit is sort of meant to be more childish. So as much as I didn't like them, I didn't even finish them, but as much as I didn't like what I saw of the movies, I also realized it's not for me.
Yeah.
It is for me, but I don't like that type of stuff. So
That's what I hate
it
about.
was doomed for me to begin with.
Yeah, that's what I hate about movies nowadays is that
They're all for children.
young adults changed.
Yeah.
Like it's either for adults or it's for children, and there is no young adult anymore. Like
If they do young adult, they want kids to be able to watch it, so they
Yeah,
tone it
get
down,
more
water it
money
down
and all
completely to children, basically.
like I was saying before, or maybe another time, or in the other cuts that we made, but like Disney's doing it crazy right now because they've got Marvel and they've made Marvel childish. Marvel is for children. Star Wars is for young adults. And now they have the Alien franchise, which they're making it for adults, and they have all genres pretty much in place right now. But it sucks as a Marvel fan to see what they've done with Marvel and to make it so childish. Like Tom Holland's Spider Man is for children. As for Spider-Man 1, we had Green Goblin getting impaled by his glider, spitting blood out of his mouth, dying on his glider. I was like, whoa.
Wow.
I'm watching this at 12, 13. I'm like, this is crazy. This is Spider-Man. And then now it's Tom Holland and Tony's. I don't know. I don't even want to get into that. But you could see the shift, though. You could see how, we went from movies that were for young adults, and they were young adult action packed. You weren't having a 2-year-old come in to watch a Spider-Man movie, but now you do. And Lord of the Rings back in the day, Lord of the Rings was it was a vicious movie. Some of the fight scenes and stuff, it was crazy. If they remade Lord of the Rings now, it would be more for children, and you wouldn't see those orcs getting brutally murdered. You wouldn't even. I don't even think the practical effects would be there. Tell you the truth, and I hope they do that with the new one. But
I hope so.
But I can't see movies nowadays getting 600,000-700,000 people to reenact a war, because that's what they did for Lord of the Rings. All those people are real. The paint and the matte makeup and all that. I can't see them doing that again nowadays, especially with AI coming out. So. Movie World. I miss old Movie World. They're so just less lean. They're so much more lean with the ratings, and now it's we need to get to the children, because with the children come the money, because the families and the cousins all come watch the film.
Cousins.
It's stop. It's not nothing. Not all movies need to be family films. So. But yeah, that's our movie review for the Blair Witch. We are finished the Blair Witch. I guess.
Yeah.
Movies timeline until the newest one comes out.
Yeah.
But yeah, we'll be back next week for a new episode.
All right.
All right. Peace.